All right, my guest today, Ron Platt, is a lifelong entrepreneur who launched his first venture at 18 years old. After graduating from Florida State University, he dove into the insurance industry, gravitating towards product development, especially in niche markets most underwriters avoided. It was during this time that the idea for the National Association for Single and Divorced Families, NASDF, and its insurance arm, Support Insured, first took shape. Though the concept began decades ago, it took 30 years to bring it to life. For the past 23 years, Ron has built a successful career in real estate, guiding home buyers and sellers, helping investors grow their returns, and advising developers from concept to design. But his true passion lies in NASDF and its mission, advocating for foster care reform and breaking cycles of intergenerational poverty. Together with co-founder Joy Reid, he launched NASDF, and recently they introduced Support Insured, the first and only divorce insurance product on the market. Ron, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jude. I'm pleased to be here.
Man, I'm so excited to talk to you about this. And I say it every week. I'm so excited because there's so many exciting things going on. It seems like recently there's a lot of exciting stuff. And what you have created here is really absolutely amazing. And I want to get into talking about Support Insured. But first, tell us a little bit about kind of talk a little bit about it, but what led you to start NASDF and kind of your story.
Yeah. So when I was doing the insurance product, I worked with my dad at the time, who I always joke when Lloyd's of London started in the 1800s, my dad was there doing the first policies. That's how long he was in the insurance business. But we were sitting having lunch and he said, I always wanted to come up with a product that would guarantee child support and alimony for death, disability, and involuntary unemployment. And I looked at him, I said, that's freaking brilliant. And he goes, yeah. And I said, well, we have an association. Why don't we switch it over and cater to people who are getting divorced? And he said, oh, that's brilliant. And he said, but don't launch the association until we get the insurance done. So my dad was like a pit bull. He would not let go. And for like the last 25 years or 30 years, he tried placing the insurance. Now, he was able to get stuff done nobody else was able to do. This was the one product that every insurance company we went to said no. And it wasn't because it was a high claims or it was not profitable or something like that. It was just out of the box. And it was in an industry that a majority of the world doesn't look at, which is divorce. It's very voodoo type thing, right, that other than a family law attorneys, a lot of people don't understand what the needs and wants are. So I kind of shelved it for a while. I came across an investor who had approached me about it. I brushed it off, updated the business plan. And every time I would look at the business plan, I realized this is my passion. I want to be able to provide help and services and support and resources for people who are getting a divorce and get them to restart their lives and give them a strong foundation during this transitionary period. And so the investor, after working with me for 3 months, said, no, we're not interested. If it's so good, why hasn't somebody else done this? And right. And we modeled ourselves after AARP, and most of us know who AARP is. And I said, if AARP has 36 million members, why hasn't somebody competed with them? And he said, yeah, I know you said that once before, but we're going to go ahead and pass. So I'm driving home, and my dad, who had since passed, sends me a message that I hear very clearly. And he says, you don't have crap. You need to go mortgage the house and start the business. And I thought, okay, I'm driving home. I got the top down. I'm thinking about it. I get home and I sit with my risk adverse better half and say, this is my passion. I've been wanting to do this for the last 20 years. It's either you got to step up and make it happen, or you just got to, throw it away. And I'm not going to throw it away. So we need to borrow some money on the house. He asked, what's the best case, worst case scenario? And I said, the best case scenario is we create this magnificent company that can help hundreds of thousands of people across the country. And we give the money that we make, a majority of it, back to making better things happen with it. Or this whole thing screws up and our mortgage payment's $1,000 more than what we're paying right now. And we still have equity in the house. So he said, yes. We went ahead and did that. I hired a PR company, and it wasn't just putting the website together. It was reconnecting with a lot of the people I used to do business with, who were really happy to hear that I was getting back in the business. And it's, the company that takes the credit cards, the enrollment company. There's massive amounts of things that happen behind the scenes that needed to come together. And when they say it's meant to be, it all just very easily, I'm saying easy, it took us almost a year to put it together, but everybody was happy to reconnect and to want to be part of this association. About 6 months ago, so we started the association. We did a light kickoff. We were really waiting to get the insurance in place. And about 6 months ago, an old friend of mine called up and said, "Did you ever place the insurance?" I said, "No." And he goes, "I have somebody I want you to talk to." And he gets the 70-year-old underwriter on the phone. And I love these older underwriters because they were the original risk takers. They didn't overthink it. They said, what's the worst case, best case scenario? What's the premium you think we can charge? And can we change the premium if it starts to go haywire? And the answer was yes, yes, and yes. He said, "Do you have an actuarial report?" I said, "I do." I sent it to him. And about 2-3 weeks later, he called back and said, "We're going to do it. We love it." And I was so emotional about it. I remember looking up at my dad going, "Oh my God, I think I just did this." So it was very healing for both of us. Then it was a matter of coming up with the software to go ahead and make sure it's as easy as possible to purchase and get a policy. And I originally went with the wrong company, ended up going with the right company. As of 2 Fridays ago, we launched it. It's now on our website. Support Insured is live and active. If you go to our website, nasdf.org, you'll see an insurance button. Hit that icon, and it'll tell you everything you want to know and how to enroll and immediately sign up. So yeah, we're pretty excited about it.